Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This story is about what if was adopted by Tsunade. Naruto is taken from the leaf and raised as Tsunade's son. What will happen when he meets another blonde in Suna? What will happen to the shinobi world when the child of prophecy finds something that was not even found by the sage of six paths himself? Naruto x Tamari. I just want to say relax, sit back and enjoy the video. Also check out the first two videos. I will have created a playlist, and there you find all of my videos easily. Remember to leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below. Now with that out of the way, enjoy the video. Tamari, come here once, Karura called out. Coming mom, came Tamari's shout. Soon Tamari entered her parents' room. Karura was the only one in the room standing behind a table. Tamari gazed at the table and she was surprised when she saw what was lying on the table. What's this mom? Tamari inquired, staring with wide eyes at a giant folding fan that was placed on a table in front of her mother. The fan was taller than Tamari herself. The giant folding fan lying on the table is a war fan. It has 3 purple circles along its metal body inside and they can only be seen when it's opened. The fan can be used for both defensive and offensive attacks as a club when it's closed shut. It can also be used to deflect kunai and shuriken when opened wide. It was my war fan when I was in the ninja force. No one was able to even make a scratch on me when I was wielding it, answered Karura, tracing the outlines of the fan with her finger. She was remembering her fond memories with it. I would like you to have it. Happy birthday, Tem. She wasn't able to finish as a small happy bundle known as Tamari crashed into her and started hugging her at waist level. Thank you, Mom, Tamari said, sounding genuinely happy to have her mother's war fan. She released her mother a few moments later. She then reached out for the war fan and tried to lift it. It's heavy, Tamari said while struggling to lift the fan. Don't worry, you will be able to lift it easily as you grow up, Karura explained. Tamari lifted the war fan with both her hands. She wanted to show the gift to her makeup-wearing brother and a baby brother who are playing outside. Tamari went out and started to show off her gift to her brothers. Karura, who followed her daughter outside, was smiling at the pouting Kankuro and Gaara, who was crawling towards his sister as soon as he saw her. Tamari then put the war fan carefully on the ground and lifted Gaara, who was asking her to pick him up by opening his hands. Gaara then started to play with his sister's blonde hair. So, I wanted to ask, why you always keep your hair in 4 pigtails? It is not that I'm complaining, but why don't you let your elegant blonde hair fall freely on your back? Karura asked hesitantly as she approached the sister and brother duo. She wanted to ask about this for quite some time but didn't ask, thinking she might hurt her daughter's feelings about how she wanted to look. As soon as Karura said blonde hair, Tamari felt something. She couldn't comprehend what this feeling was. It was like she was not the only one. Karura saw her daughter's facial expression change from happy to dreamy to confused and then finally settle with a pouting question mark face. What happened, Tamari? I just wanted to know why you don't let your hair loss, that's all, Karura said in a panic, thinking she may have hurt her daughter's feelings by questioning her hairstyle. She didn't hate the hairstyle of her daughter, she was just curious. Oh, it's nothing, Mom, I was just lost in my thoughts. Oh, and I don't let my hair loose cause I don't wanna look girly, was Tamari's reply as she let Gaara down so he can go back and play with Kankuro. Girly? But you are a girl? Karura asked, surprised. Not just any girl, but a girl that will become an awesome ninja that wields your war fan, Tamari replied confidently while pointing her right hand thumb towards her chest. I do not doubt saying that you'll become a ninja that everyone will look up to. But never think that being a girl or girly is a weakness, Karura admonished her daughter. Tamari looked at her mother with a confused face. I am a woman, and I can proudly say that I can go toe-to-toe with your father any day, informed Karura. Tamari's eyes became wide. Wow, Mom, you're awesome. That's not the only thing. Lady Chio was said to have taken down an entire fortress, all by herself in a battle. Even Tsunade, one of the legendary Sannin of the Leaf Village, is also a woman. Here Tamari's eyes were filled with stars. Never think that being a woman is a weakness. We are indeed women, but not weak women. Tamari was still in awe at what she was just told. It is your choice how you want to look, but never be ashamed of being a girl or woman, Karura said to her daughter. Alright, Tamari exclaimed, raising a fist to the sky, proud. Though your hairstyle is unique too with your blonde hair, Karura complimented after Tamari settled down. There, that feeling again, that I'm not the only one, were Tamari's thoughts when she felt the same way again as her mother mentioned about her blonde hair. Karura noticed that Tamari had a pout and a question mark face again. What's the matter? She inquired. It's nothing, Mom, but I have this weird feeling. Don't know how to say, but I feel like I'm not the only one, Tamari replied, scrunching her nose in confusion. Huh, what do you mean, sweetie? Karura asked, getting intrigued. It's like, she began to think of the best way to explain. It's like, someone is out there who can give me competition. She said thoughtfully. Far away, Senju residence, land of waves. Achu, Naruto who was playing in the garden suddenly sneezed. He was playing with a tiny Katsuyu. Naruto was crawling around and trying to catch the tiny slug that his mother summoned for him. Katsuyu is always delighted whenever Tsunade summoned her to play with Naruto. Bless you, Shizune said, who was babysitting Naruto so he won't get himself into mud again. Being chewed out by Lady Tsunade once was enough. Someone must be thinking about you, Naru, she said again. But then she saw Naruto had stopped crawling up to Katsuyu as soon as he sneezed, and made a confused but cute expression on his face like he was thinking seriously about something. To Shizune, he looked so adorable that she thought of hugging him like a teddy bear and never let go. Shizune, come inside, we need to ready the bath for Naru, came the shout of Tsunade. Coming Lady Tsunade, Shizune replied. Lady Katsuyu, can you watch Naru for me? I will come back to take him inside in a few minutes. Shizune requested the slug summon. Oh, it is no problem, Shizune-chan. Besides, I enjoy my time with Naruto-kun, came the delighted reply of Katsuyu. Shizune nodded at Katsuyu gratefully and then went inside to help Tsunade to prepare the bath for Naruto. Naruto was still having that cute thoughtful expression on his face. As soon as Shizune was no longer in sight, Katsuyu noticed some movement in the nearby bushes. She felt something in there, so she crawled up to that bush. But suddenly a regular-sized snake jumped on her. The snake was no match for Katsuyu, but it was only a distraction. Another snake which is the size of a python was making its way toward the still thoughtful baby Naruto who was oblivious to its approach. It was green in color mixing up with the grass making it unseen to the naked eye. Katsuyu was engaged in disposing of the first snake with her acid, but she did not know there was another snake about to strike Naruto. Even if she knew about the other snake, she could not make it fast enough to save him. The python opened its maw to strike a still unaware Naruto. A few moments later, when Tsunade and Shizune walked outside to take Naruto for his bath, they were confused and surprised along with Katsuyu too. A large bird was standing in the grass near a happily giggling Naruto. The bird is 3 feet tall and can come up to Tsunade's waist level in height if it stood tall. The bird looked like an eagle but not quite the same. It has the body structure of an eagle but its size is far large to be an actual eagle. Its feather colors are so vibrant, which was never seen by any of them including Katsuyu. Even though it has a large size and vibrant colors, in nature when an animal has bright vibrant colors, it means that the animal is either poisonous or dangerous. The bird seemed to be calm. It was looking at a giggling Naruto until Tsunade and Shizune walked in. When the bird noticed their presence, it turned its head towards Tsunade. Tsunade was fearing for her son's safety in the presence of an unknown large bird, but as soon as the bird looked at her, she doesn't know why but she felt at ease. It's like the bird has a calming aura that calms everyone in its vicinity. Almost like someone was guiding her, she walked up to her son and picked him up. While this was happening, the bird didn't even make any movement at all, like all scared birds do when a human approaches them. Tsunade, Shizune, and Katsuyu were all staring in awe at the mighty bird. Once the bird saw that the boy was safe, it released its wings which were 3 meters wide each. Then it released a mighty screech and took flight. The screech was not the one that shocked Tsunade, Shizune, and Katsuyu, but what shocked them was what they saw in the bird's talons. Hanging from the massive and ferocious-looking talons was the corpse of a green-colored python. The python was massive. It could weigh easily around 300 pounds. All three had no clue how the bird could lift that much weight like it was just a feather. The bird started circling them in the sky making a gentle breeze of wind and then threw the dead python far away, where it can't be found by anyone. Naruto, who was still in the hands of Tsunade, was clapping and giggling enjoying the gentle breeze created by the bird. As soon as the bird started to fly away, he lifted his tiny hand toward the sky where he could still see the bird disappearing into the distance, and said, "Wind." Right after Naruto said, "Wind," in Sand Village. Tamari, who was in the playground listening carefully about all her mom's exploits when she was a ninja, suddenly felt like someone rested their hand on her shoulder gently. She looked back in surprise, while her mother seemed to be curious about her daughter's sudden reaction. Tamari. Karura inquired curiously as to why her daughter is looking back with a confused expression. Tamari blinked her eyes when Karura called her and turned to face her mom and said, "It's nothing, Mom, I just felt like someone rested a hand on my shoulder." Just then a gentle breeze of wind surrounded the two females who have no idea about what was going on. The gentle breeze of wind caused two of Tamari's lower pigtails to get loose making her long hair fall freely and flow in the wind making her look like an angel to her mother's eyes. That night, some unknown locations. It was a darkly lit hideout, built entirely underground with the entrance being at the foot of a rock formation. Within the hideout, itself are numerous rooms, and on the walls of the rooms, there were statues of gigantic snakes coiled up with candles in their eyes providing light. A tall and thin figure was seen sitting on some sort of throne-like structure in one of the rooms of the hideout. Soon a regular-sized snake came up crawling into the darkly lit room and stopped nearly 10 feet away, facing the person. The snake looked like it has seen better days. Over 70% of the snake's body was filled with acid burns. Coo, Aota, it seems as if you were unsuccessful in doing what I asked of you. The person said sarcastically. Yes, my lord, I faced a massive retaliation from Slug Sanin's summon. The now identified snake Aota humbly replied. So Katsuyu was there. Coo, the person replied. Forgive me my lord, but your idea to harm an innocent child is not a noble way to. Aota started to say, but the person interrupted the still talking snake like he didn't even hear its words. Your father Manda will not be happy that his son was beaten by Katsuyu brutally. He said, making the snake bow its head in disappointment on itself. To think that Katsuyu was able to defeat two of my snakes all by herself, the person started talking to himself but was interrupted by the snake, who lifted his head and said, with all due respect my lord, only I was defeated by Katsuyu-sama. Aota made a tiny mistake by referring to Katsuyu with respect and started to panic that his lord may complain to his father Manda. The person seemed as if he didn't even catch the mistake and questioned, So what happened to Viper then? He was killed brutally by some sort of a large bird, Aota replied with remorse filled in his voice at losing one of his kin. A bird you say? Interesting, coo, was the person's excited reply. He seemed to be in thought for a few moments with a sadistic grin on his face. He then said again, you may now leave Aota. Don't disgrace this place with your presence again. I don't need failures anywhere near me. Aota was shocked that the person he viewed as his master doesn't even care when one of his kin was killed brutally. The snake looked like he wanted to say something. He wanted to question his master. Is there no respect for his snake brethren who died trying to fulfill his master's wishes? Is there no respect for his loyalty towards his master? But whatever he wished to ask, he couldn't ask them. As you wish Orochimaru-sama, Aota said, and then simply turned around and disappeared in a puff of smoke back to Ruchi Cave. The now identified Orochimaru did not know that he just lost the trust, respect, and loyalty of a young snake summon who will soon become the great snake summon to ever live in Ruchi Cave. Aota now has only two goals in his mind. The first is to make himself stronger, and the second one is to find a loyal and respectable summoner for the snakes, who will restore the glory of the snakes. Chapter 10. A Mysterious Alley. It has been nearly 2 months since the incident with the snakes happened in their garden. Tsunade had read most of the famous ornithology books ever published in the elemental nations to find out which species does the mysterious bird belongs to, which saved her son from that dangerous python. Tsunade was now in the living room, reading another one of the ornithology books. Bald eagle. No, that's not it, she muttered and flipped through some more pages. Golden eagle. Not this one too, she flipped some more pages. Harpy eagle. She hummed in thought while reading more about the species. Harpy eagles possess the largest talons of any living eagle and have been recorded as lifting prey which is equal to their body weight. This allows them to snatch a live sloth from tree branches, as well as other proportionately huge prey items. Males usually take relatively smaller prey, with a typical range of 0.5 to 2.5 kilograms, 1.1 to 5.5 pounds, or about half their weight. The larger females take larger prey, with a minimum recorded prey weight of around 2.7 kilograms, 6.0 pounds. Adult female harpies regularly grab large male howlers or spider monkeys or mature sloths weighing 6 to 9 kilograms, 13 to 20 pounds, in flight and fly off without landing, an enormous feat of strength. She paused in her reading. But what I saw was no ordinary eagle. It lifted a massive python, which weighs around 150 kilograms, nearly 330 pounds, and that is not just any ordinary feat of strength. She thought with a frown marring her face. You'll get wrinkles soon if you keep on stressing yourself like that. Tsunade turned her face towards the source of the voice and found Jiraiya coming in through the window of their house into the living room. If you don't know, we have a fine-looking door that works, she said sarcastically. Nah, windows are more suited for my style, he said with a stupid grin, but then he became serious and asked, so what happened, that you need my assistance? A few moments later, does Katsuyu know anything about this bird that you are talking about? Jiraiya inquired. She was as surprised as we are, and that's what makes me nervous that even Katsuyu, who is around for more than 1,000 years, does not have any idea about what this bird is, Tsunade exclaimed. But you also said that the bird just saved Naruto from a python that could be there to attack him, didn't you? Jiraiya questioned. Yeah, and it didn't even make any moment even when I was approaching it. It just kept on looking at me, and then lifted the python like it was just a feather, she said, remembering the encounter again. This is troubling, Jiraiya said, scratching his chin. I will see if I can find any info about this in Mount Myoboku, write down the appearance and details of the bird and give it to me. He said, handing her a notepad and pen that he always keeps with him. Tsunade wrote what she could remember about the bird and handed it back to the toad Sanin. So, where's my troublemaker godson? Jiraiya asked, feeling happy to meet his godson. He's in the garden with Shizune, Tsunade said while leading the way to the garden. Jiraiya soon followed her out. Naruto was once again found playing with a small Katsuyu, while Shizune was keeping a close eye on him, making sure that no more incidents like what happened last time take place. Naruto was hugging Katsuyu like a teddy bear. His eyes then caught something. There was a cute-looking baby red fox kit that could be no longer than 2 weeks old. The baby fox's fur was gray, but there was already a red coat growing on its fur. The kid seemed to be not able to walk properly because of its young age. The fox kid was probably an orphan now. There were a lot of orphaned baby foxes whose parents were killed off because of the demand for their fur or just as an entertainment sport for some stupid people, the sad reality of the world we live in. As soon as Naruto saw the kid, he started crawling toward it. The kid seemed to walk away from the baby Naruto whenever he tried to reach it. Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Shizune saw the scene and thought it's adorable. After trying to reach the cute baby fox 2 or 3 times and failing, baby Naruto puffed his cheeks like a stubborn child. Jiraiya could have laughed if he didn't see what happened next. Naruto put his hands on the ground for support and tried to stand. He stood up with shaking legs and took a step towards the baby fox, which seemed to come to him at this point. Jiraiya was surprised positively and Shizune gasped as she got to her feet with her hands over her mouth. Tsunade's eyes watered with happiness as she saw her son taking his very first steps. Naruto started to pet the baby fox in his way with his tiny hands. Naru, he heard his mother calling him. He turned his head away from the baby fox and saw his mother standing there. Tsunade opened her hands urging him to come to her. As soon as Naruto saw his mother, he forgot all about the fox and started to walk shakily toward Tsunade. Jiraiya recovered from his surprise and took out the camera that he always keeps with him to peep at women, but this time he decided to capture this special moment for the mother and son. Tsunade watched her son take one step and another with shaking legs. Come on Naru, come to mama, she encouraged him with eyes filled with tears of happiness. Naruto took 2 more steps and just when he was about to reach his mother, he stumbled on his legs. Before he can fall, his mother picked him up and she was crying with happiness. She hugged him in her warm embrace. Baby Naruto got confused when his mother started to cry. He rubbed the tears off her cheeks with his tiny hands as best as he could with an adorable cute expression. Soon Shizune also recovered from her surprise and joined the mother and son duo. Caught every step, Jiraiya muttered while going through the pictures he just took. One picture shows Tsunade opening her hands and urging her son to come to her. The next 2 pictures show Naruto taking one step after another toward his mother. Another one shows Naruto almost reaching Tsunade. The next picture shows a very emotional Tsunade hugging her son who was trying to wipe his mother's tears. The final picture shows a happy Shizune making faces at Naruto making him giggle and Tsunade smile. It will be a gift for my godson, on his first birthday in a few days, Jiraiya thought. Soon he also joined them in urging his godson to walk towards him too, which Naruto happily did. Shizune took the camera from Jiraiya so she can capture Jiraiya's special moment with Naruto too. Then they set the camera on timer mode and put it on the nearest tree branch so that they can take a family picture with baby Naruto who can now stand a little easier. Tsunade and Shizune were standing side by side while baby Naruto stood in front of them in the middle with a smiling face while Jiraiya who was taller than all of them was in the back giving a peace sign with a heartfelt smile. When the timer hit the 2-second mark both Katsuyu and that cute baby fox also joined the picture. Katsuyu was on Naruto's right side while the baby fox was on his left side. The camera clicked the picture completing the perfect family picture. Tsunade who witnessed the baby fox being petted by Naruto decided to adapt the kit. After all the fox kit was the one that made her son take his first steps. She decided to take the fox kit to the nearest veterinarian soon to give it all the necessary medication and vaccination for the baby fox to be safe. She will let Naruto name it when he can. That evening, after witnessing his godson's very first steps and playing with him for some time, Jiraiya took his leave from the family because he has a mysterious bird to investigate about. He gave the camera with pictures to a local studio owner for development. He also paid a little extra to make sure the photos will be framed and ready 2 days before Naruto's first birthday. Then he decided to visit Mount Myoboku to see if the toads know anything about the bird or not. A few moments later, Mount Myoboku. A large bird, capable of lifting more than 300 pounds of weight, with features of an eagle but large in size and with vibrant-looking red and yellow feathers, Gamamaru muttered in thought with half-lidded eyes while resting on his throne. Standing before Gamamaru were Jiraiya and Fukasaku. When even Fukasaku did not know anything about the bird Jiraiya has asked about, he decided to take the toad Sanin to Gamamaru, to see if the great elder toad has any knowledge of the bird. Well, Jiraiya boy, when I was still a tadpole, my great-grandmother used to tell me the tales of a certain bird. Gamamaru has still half-lidded eyes and did not make any movements, but from his tone alone both Jiraiya and Fukasaku could tell that the great elder toad was surprised. She always used to say that it was just a myth. When I asked her if the bird exists in real life or not, Gamamaru recited his memories to the two of them. Jiraiya looked like he was about to ask something but was interrupted when Gamamaru spoke. I think the bird you are looking for is a phoenix. Chapter 11. Memories to Remember. It has been a week since Jiraiya left to investigate the mysterious bird. Today is October 10th and it is almost like a mini festival in the Senju household in Land of Waves. Because it's their first birthday of Naruto. Tsunade and Shizune were making preparations for a small number of guests in the evening. They didn't invite a lot of members, just a few people. Shizune invited Tsunade and his family personally, while Tsunade herself sent invitations to a select few people like Jiraiya and Hiruzen. At present Shizune was busy cooking and Tsunade was in the process of arranging all the drinks and sake needed for the guests while she took a sip or two when Shizune was not looking. Naruto was in the living room playing with his favorite stuffed toy, which is the cute yellow-colored mouse with two long ears and a red circle on each cheek. It has a tail that is shaped in a zigzag style. Pikachu, Thunder Bulb attach, Naruto shouted while running in circles holding the Pikachu stuffed toy in the living room. He was repeating the catchphrase used by the hero in his favorite show that he regularly watches on television. He was so young that he can't even pronounce some words properly. Tsunade and Shizune were still surprised at how fast Naruto was learning to talk and he was just 1 year old. Katsuyu was babysitting him as both the ladies of the house are busy in preparations, while Eevee was also there running after Naruto. If you're wondering who this Eevee is, then let me tell you, she was the baby fox that Tsunade adopted as a family pet. She let Naruto name the female baby fox and he named her Eevee, because she looks like another animal, ahem, from his favorite show. Naruto all of a sudden stopped in mid-run and turned back facing Eevee. Eevee, help Pikachu, he shouted playfully and gently set the stuffed toy on the back of the baby fox. The fox kit then started to run in circles making sure to not let the toy fall. And a few moments later Fox Kit jumped onto Naruto making him fall back on the carpet and started to lick him as the toy fell on his right side. Naruto was laughing hard as he was tickled by the Fox Kit's licking and sat up. Just you wait Gary, I will beat you, he shouted referring to another line from the show raising his tiny fist in the sky. Eevee also rose on his left side and yipped its agreement too. What's my godson doing? Naruto turned towards the source of the voice and found Jiraiya coming in through the window. Uncle Jiraiya. He shouted in excitement as he ran as fast as he could and jumped up toward Jiraiya. Jiraiya caught the excited boy in his hands and spun him around making the boy laugh and then set him down. What's with all the common? Tsunade stopped in mid-sentence as she saw Jiraiya. Soon Shizune also appeared in the living room. I'm glad you're here pervert, Tsunade said. Shizune was trying so hard to maintain a poker face but was failing miserably at the pervert remark. Eevee also made some enthusiastic barks agreeing with that. Hey, Jiraiya shouted like a stubborn child and said, I'm not a pervert, but before Tsunade can counter, I'm a super pervert. He finished his sentence. He then summoned a samurai toad Gama, who is a large toad, enough for Jiraiya to ride on his back. His orange skin is covered in blue markings, he has bandages wrapped around his body and left foreleg, and wears a necklace with 7 large beads on it, with the kanji for loyalty on the central, largest one. He was wearing samurai armor, composed of a plate cuirass and arm guards paired with traditional samurai pauldrons. Then Gama and Jiraiya started to do a weird dance intro as Jiraiya started to say, I am the hermit of Mount Myoboku, the man on whom ladies swoon over, I am, Jiraiya, the toad sage. Quote. He completed the intro by making a weird pose. He was leaning forward a little facing the ladies of the house, still standing on Gama with his left leg in front and right leg stretched behind him, and he held his left hand in the front with palm open and downwards near where his left knee was, and he held his right hand behind him with the elbow facing the sky and closed right fist towards his head. Strangely enough, the toad Gama was also imitating his pose. Pin drop silence. Crickets could be heard chirping in the background as the two ladies of the house and the female baby fox stood there in utter silence with dumbfounded faces and sweat drops on the back of their heads. But they were brought back to reality from their stupor when they heard clapping sounds. Both ladies in the fox kit turned towards the sound and fell face first into the ground in a comical way when they saw that Naruto was laughing and clapping at Jiraiya's display. See, my godson approves me as the latest man. Jiraiya shouted and lifted the giggling Naruto off the ground and set him up on his shoulders and started to jump up and down, still standing on Gamma. Not surprisingly, Gamma also started to jump around as Jiraiya kept himself balanced by channeling chakra to his legs. A few seconds later, Tsunade stood up from the ground and said, "Boys, will be boys." Soon Shizune and Eevee also stood up and all three ladies, including Eevee, went back to what they were doing, leaving the boys of the house to do as they wish. That night, Senju compound. The birthday party was not a fancy one. The family just invited some people only. Tazuna and his family left a little while ago after giving their presents to Naruto. After waving them goodbye, Tsunade came back to the living room and saw that Jiraiya was waiting for her in a chair on the left side of the couch. Naruto was sleeping peacefully in Jiraiya's arms. Tsunade took Naruto from him and settled on the couch. "Well, here are the pictures we took that day," Jiraiya said as he handed her a photo album and picture frame. The album has pictures of Naruto's first steps already in it and has more blank pages, so the family can store every special moment in it. The picture frame has a picture in which Tsunade, Jiraiya, Shizune, Naruto, Katsuyu, and Eevee were there as a family. Tsunade kept the picture frame on the desk in the living room and she kept the album safely away for the future. "I forgot to give this present to him," Jiraiya muttered as he fished out a wrapped package from his clothes and handed it to her. Tsunade opened the package and there were two items in it. The first one was a nightcap with a toad mouth, looking like it would eat the one who wore it, and the second one was money, carrying a purse in the shape of a green toad, where the toad's mouth opens up to keep money inside. Tsunade rose an eyebrow at these and turned towards the toad Sanin and asked, "You're not baiting my son into signing the toad contract, are you?" "Don't know what you're talking about," Jiraiya replied, whistling lightly while looking at a wall that he found interesting all of a sudden. Tsunade just released a sigh and put the toad cap on Naruto's head. Naruto made a smiling face in his sleep like he appreciated the warmth provided by the cap. "I also found some info about that bird, in Mount Myoboku," Jiraiya said. "Tell me," Tsunade said, paying attention. Great Elder Toad said that he heard a legend about a bird that can summon the eternal fire. He said its name is Phoenix. But he also said it was just a myth and is not sure whether the bird you saw is a phoenix or not. Jiraiya explained what he found. Tsunade hummed in deep thought as she gazed at her sleeping son. "Oh, and by the way, Sensei could not come today as he was busy with council meetings," Jiraiya slowly said, emphasizing the words council meetings. Tsunade caught on to what he was implying and asked, "What's the matter?" "Council is continuously making pressure on Sensei to implement Clan Restoration Act," he answered. Tsunade became serious and took the sleeping Naruto to his room and tucked him in. She then came back to continue the discussion. "CRA on which clan?" she inquired. "Senju Claw." "No." Jiraiya was not able to finish as Tsunade interrupted him, and then she continued again, "I won't be going through it." "They did not ask CRA for you. You didn't let me finish," Jiraiya said. Was her confused reply. "Council is asking CRA to be implemented on the Senju clan heir," he said, emphasizing heir. "You mean?" she inquired, shaking in anger. "Yes, they are making demands to put Naruto under CRA to restore Senju, Uzumaki, and Namikaze clans," he said with anger too. "Well, I won't let them. It is my son's life and he has to live it on his wishes. If they make any more disturbances, then I will cut all my ties with Leaf Village and make sure Naruto never even hears about the village or its stupid people," she said, her final decision. "That's what I want for him too. If he wants to revive his clans, then it is fine. But if he only loves one woman, then that's for the best too," Jiraiya said. Tsunade can understand that if her son wishes to restore her clan, his mother's clan, and his father's clan, then he can, because that's what he wishes. But if he doesn't wish to, then no one in hell or heaven can force her son as long as she is still breathing. Anyway, back to topic. Since Sensei cannot come today, he sent this for Naruto as a present from him, Jiraiya said and handed a scroll to her. Tsunade took the scroll and unsealed it. The scroll contained a standard training kunai and shuriken set and a white t-shirt which has red color on the neckline and hands starting from the shoulders. In the chest area, the t-shirt has a picture of a monkey wearing cool sunglasses and doing a dabbing pose. Tsunade sat there in silence staring at the dabbing monkey on the t-shirt. She then folded the t-shirt neatly and kept it back in its package and left it there on the table. She then stood up and started to pull her blonde hair comically and shouted, "Stop baiting my son into signing your summoning contracts." Chapter 12. Love and Hatred, a never-ending cycle. It has been 4 years since the discussion about CRA being forced on Naruto took place. Tsunade sent a warning message to Leaf Village with the Senju clan seal that if they tried to mess with the Senju clan heir, she would cut all her ties with the village and be a normal civilian of the wave. That shut the mouths of so many, including Danzo himself. Losing a Sanin will be a major loss for the village. Apart from that issue, life had been very pleasant in the Senju compound for these 4 years. When Naruto is around, it's like time passes by in just mere seconds. He is now 5 years old, 3.5 feet tall, and has unruly blonde hair. He uses a regular-looking red-colored boy headband to keep the hair from getting on his face. Shizune was in the kitchen making breakfast while the mother and son duo are in the living room. Tsunade was in the process of explaining to Naruto about his ancestors and their numerous legends and exploits. A 5-year-old Naruto was in the lap of Tsunade and he was holding an album that contains pictures of his ancestors. Tsunade flipped pictures in the album whenever she finished talking about them. She flipped to the next page. That's your great-grandfather Naru. He was called the god of shinobi in his era. He was one of the 3 clan heads that founded the Leaf Village. Tsunade explained, showing a person's photo in the album. The picture was of a tall man with tan skin and dark eyes. He had waist-length black hair typically styled in a center-parted fringe that framed his face. He was clad in dark red metal armor worn over a simple black suit with sandals. This armor formed multiple protective guards along his body. Each collar of his shoulder guards bore the Senju symbol. He wore the leaf headband on his forehead proudly. Great-grandpa looks awesome. Mom, tell me more, asked an excited Naruto, turning his head a little high and back towards his mother. Tsunade nodded and Naruto turned back to the picture. He fought and defeated the Uchiha clan leader Madara Uchiha. After that, he made peace by ending the long-running clan wars between Senju and Uchiha. Tsunade explained. Naruto felt some type of unknown hate inside him when heard the name Madara Uchiha, but he didn't pay it any mind. What was his name, Mom? Naruto asked in awe, still staring at the picture. Hashirama Senju, Tsunade said with pride in her voice. Hashirama Senju, Naruto muttered while tenderly touching the picture. Mom, someday I will become an even more powerful shinobi, who will surpass great-grandpa. Naruto Senju, believe it, he said with determination. Yes, I believe it, Tsunade said, gently ruffling his hair. Then she flipped to the next picture. In the next picture, there was a tall person with silver and shaggy hair and he had red-colored eyes. He had 3 red markings on his face, one under each of his eyes and one on his chin. He wore blue armor with a distinctive white fur collar over a simple black suit. This armor was constructed from numerous metal plates, formed into multiple protective guards along his body. Beneath his shoulder armor, he wore 2 extra shoulder guards on each arm. He wore a hapuri which was engraved with the leaf emblem on his forehead instead of the more traditional forehead protector. He is my grand-uncle, younger brother of my grandfather. Tobirama Senju, Tsunade said. So he is my great-grand-uncle? Naruto inquired, looking at the picture of Tobirama. Yes, he is. He was the best when it came to strategy making and adapting to any kind of battle far faster than anyone else. When he and your great-grandfather were on the battlefield, it was a nightmare for all their enemies. Tsunade recited her childhood stories to her son. I need a brother like him too, Naruto muttered. Far away in Leaf Village, a certain pineapple hair-styled kid in the Nara clan compound suddenly sneezed. He was lying on the grass in his garden watching the clouds. I guess someone is thinking about you, his father, who was also lying with him in the garden, said. Why do I feel like I will become a brother, advisor to a troublesome friend in the future? He muttered out loud. What a drag. The kid mumbled out loud again after a few moments and went back to his cloud watching. Back in Senju compound, land of waves. Mom, who is he? Quote, Naruto inquired, pointing to another picture. The picture showed an elderly man, who had long red hair, a mustache, and a squared-off goatee. He also wore armor like Hashirama, but it does not have shoulder guards. Under the armor, he wore a long-sleeved black outfit, the shoulders of which bore the crest of Uzushiogakure. He had 2 swords which have curved handles that are strapped to his back. He wore a forehead protector with the Uzumaki emblem displayed proudly on his forehead. He is a Shina Uzumaki, my great-grandfather from my grandmother Mito Uzumaki's side. My grandfather. She paused and ruffled Naruto's hair and continued. Your great-grandfather Hashirama, Uchiha clan leader Madara Uchiha, and your great-great-grandfather Ashina Uzumaki founded the Leaf Village. She explained. Uzumaki. Naruto asked in confusion. Uzumaki and Senju are brothers, if I have to say particularly. It was said that the founders of these 2 clans are the children of the same father. So that's why Senju and Uzumaki always have good relations. She said with pride. Sweet. Can we meet them? Naruto asked with excitement. Tsunade did not know how to say it to her innocent son, but the truth has to be told at some point, so she thought, why not now? Naru, you can't meet them. She paused, taking a deep breath, and continued. They were targeted by 3 villages in the Second Shinobi World War. Cloud, Stone, and Mist made sure that the Uzumaki village was destroyed. She informed her son sadly. Naruto's eyes started to water. His innocent mind could not comprehend why anyone will destroy a village full of innocent people like that. But why? He asked with eyes full of tears. Tsunade wiped Naruto's eyes and asked, "You remember the legend I told you about the Sage of the Six Paths?" At Naruto's nod, she continued, "Senju, Uchiha, and Uzumaki were the descendants of the sage. Senjus have inherited the sage's bodily prowess, Uchihas have inherited the sage's visual prowess, and Uzumaki have inherited the sage's unique chakra and his most treasured tools." Unique chakra and treasured tools? Naruto questioned with confusion. Uzumaki's chakra is far denser than the regular human's chakra. Their chakra was able to hold down even the mightiest of the tailed beasts. No weapon or jutsu was able to break the adamantine chains created by their unique chakra. It was said that my grandmother Mido Uzumaki held down the nine-tailed fox, which was covered in Madara Uchiha's Susanoo protection, along with him using her adamantine chains when he was defeated by my grandfather Hashirama. Tsunade made sure to subtly leave out the part about Mido becoming the first Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. Naruto doesn't know why he is feeling satisfied all of a sudden from inside when heard that Madara Uchiha along with his Susanoo was held down by his great-grandmother Mido Uzumaki, but he paid it no mind. "Wow, my great-grandmother is awesome. Believe it," he shouted, rising a fist to the sky. Anyway, back to the topic, Tsunade continued, coming back to the reason why Uzumaki was targeted by the three villages. Along with Sage's unique chakra and his most treasured tools, Uzumaki's also inherited Sage's knowledge of sealing techniques. Their sealing methods were so legendary that they made the other villages wary of their power. When the three villages were itching for a war with the Leaf Village, they knew for sure that the Uzumaki will come for the Leaf's aid, so they made a truce between each other for a short period and banded together to destroy the land of whirlpools first. After the Uzumakis were destroyed, Cloud retrieved all of Sage's treasured tools from the land of whirlpools as spoils of war. Tsunade stopped to wipe out some tears she was having herself. "Mom?" Naruto asked, concerned as he noticed his mother wiping her eyes. "It's nothing, some dirt got into my eye, that's all," Tsunade replied to her son, who nodded. "Why didn't Leaf Village help the land of whirlpools?" Naruto asked with some anger that Leaf did not help the Uzumaki. "My grand-uncle has made my sensei Hiruzen Sarutobi the third Hokage just before he sacrificed himself as a decoy when he and his pupils were ambushed by 20 rogue Cloud Jonins being led by Ginkaku and Kinkaku brothers, at the meeting place where the peace talks between Leaf and Cloud are to take place. These rogue Cloud ninjas did not want Leaf and Cloud to become allies, so they attacked both my grand-uncle's squad and the squad of the second Raikage I-2. Before my sensei can come back to Leaf and take full responsibility as the third Hokage and analyze the situation, the attack on Uzumaki happened by the combined effort of Cloud, Stone, and Mist," Tsunade informed. "But Mom, if Cloud wanted to be allied with Leaf, then why did they plan to attack Land of Whirlpools even before they met with Great-Grandpa Tobirama?" Naruto questioned, catching on. "Before these rogue ninja can implement their ambush attack on both the second Hokage and the second Raikage, they had spread a rumor in Cloud that the Raikage will be assassinated by Leaf at the meeting place. They cleverly spread this rumor after the second Raikage left the village for peace meetings, so the Raikage doesn't know about this cause he was out of the village when the rumor had spread." She paused to make sure Naruto was following. At his understanding nod she continued, "As the rumor started to spread, Cloud Village Council made a backup plan to attack Land of Whirlpools in case the rumor is true, so they can cut the Leaf Village off from its ally. So as soon as they heard the news of their Raikage's death, they attacked Land of Whirlpools along with Stone and Mist, before Grandpa Hiruzen can even come back to Leaf and know about the attack." Naruto asked, calmly staring at the picture of Ashina Uzumaki. Tsunade was surprised at his calmness but still nodded and said, "An army of over 50,000 ninjas from all three villages combined was deployed to take down the Uzumaki at first. After that, another 20,000 ninjas were sent again." "What happened?" Naruto asked in surprise, facing his mother. "Why did the three villages need that many ninjas to defeat the Land of Whirlpools?" "I did say the Uzumakis were legendary, didn't I?" Tsunade said with a small smile. "The first wave of 50,000 enemy ninjas was wiped out by the Uzumakis with their skills and abilities, but they were already exhausted by the time when the additional army was sent. So they lost the battle. Even though the Uzumaki were destroyed in this battle, only 1,000 enemy ninjas were left alive after the battle. My sensei heard about the attack after it started, so he deployed troops to help the Uzumaki. It took 3 days for Leaf ninjas to arrive at Land of Whirlpools to help the Uzumaki. But by then Uzumakis were already destroyed, and some surviving members went into hiding, scattered all over the elemental nations." She finished explaining. She was surprised to see Naruto deep in thought while staring at the picture of Ashina Uzumaki. She expected him to be angry at Hiruzen or angry at the Cloud Village. But she didn't expect him to be calmly thinking. His face was set like he was thinking about what to say next. So the Cloud Village only went along with the plan, because they were misinformed about the cause of their Raikage's death. That means they do want the peace talks to happen and ally with Leaf, don't they? Naruto summarized, still staring at the picture. Tsunade was surprised cause she didn't expect Naruto to be able to think from the perspective of Cloud. Well, he's not wrong. She thought to herself because she knew that Cloud was misled by the Kinkaku and Ginkaku brothers. Yeah, Cloud also wanted peace, because even the Cloud village has experienced the pain caused by the wars, Tsunade replied. She then remembered her old friend and teammate's words to her. Your uncle Jiraiya used to say that, knowing what it feels to be in pain, is exactly why we try to be kind to others. Cloud and Leaf wanted to end the bloodshed because they know the pain caused by wars. But you said Cloud Village realized that they were misled by the rogue ninja, right? So why didn't they try to make peace again? Naruto asked in confusion. They did send a diplomat to sign the peace treaty 2 years ago, but it was all a plot to kidnap someone from the Leaf, Tsunade said, remembering the Hyuga affair. What? Why would they do that? Naruto shouted. To protect something precious, wars are waged. As long as there is love in this world, there will always be hate. Tsunade said, reciting her own experiences. But how does love cause hatred? Protecting something precious to someone is always correct. Right, Mom. Naruto's innocent mind can't comprehend what his mom was saying. Yes, Naru, it is correct, Tsunade replied. But before Naruto can say something, she continued again. But when we were trying to protect our loved ones in Leaf Village, we ended up taking away someone else's loved ones in Cloud Village. And this caused hatred in the hearts of those who lost their loved ones. So, as long as there is love in this world, there will always be hate. Naruto questioned his mother, repeating her earlier words. Tsunade nodded and said, and some people will take advantage of that hatred. As long as we have this ninja system, this monster known as hate will live. It will give birth to even more hatred. Cloud, Stone, and Mist may have destroyed the land of whirlpools. But if you look deeper, then you could say that this disordered shinobi world created hatred in the hearts of those villages and killed all the Uzumakis. Naruto turned his face back to the album, Disordered Shinobi World. He muttered in deep thought, while gently touching the picture of Ashina. To be a ninja, you must confront hatred. And every one of us must battle against that hatred. Tsunade said to her still a thoughtful son. She expected him to shout like a stubborn child, but he surprised her by actually understanding every word of her. Being a ninja is to battle this cycle of hatred, every day for the rest of our lives. The mother and son duo turned towards the source of the voice and found Jiraiya leaning on the wall right next to their window. Naruto slowly got out of his mother's lap and stood facing the two Sannin and held the picture of Ashina Uzumaki to his heart and said, well then, when I become a ninja, I'm going to break that cycle of hatred one day. If there is truly such a thing as peace in this world, then somehow I'm going to find it. And I will never stop looking. Tsunade gasped as she stood up and put her hands on her mouth, and Jiraiya almost slipped and fell on the floor when they both heard Naruto's words. They both thought they saw a visage of smiling Minato over Naruto for a second. Jiraiya was the first to recover from his surprise as he came up to Naruto and kneeled in front of him and put his hands on the boy's shoulders and said, even I can tell that hatred is spreading. I wanted to do something about it, but I don't know what. I believe that someday the day will come when people will truly understand one another. If I can't find the answer, it will be up to you to do it. I will find the answer, believe it. Naruto shouted, raising his fist in the air, which made Tsunade and Jiraiya smile. What did I miss? Shizune asked quizzically when she entered with a tray full of breakfast for everyone and saw Tsunade and Jiraiya smiling proudly at Naruto. A few moments later, alright Naruto, why don't you go out and play with Shizune? Said Jiraiya. Shizune caught on to what he was implying and took Naruto outside, leaving Tsunade and Jiraiya alone. What is it? Tsunade asked, getting right to the point. Naruto is growing up. I saw him getting sad whenever a father was mentioned in the stories you read for him. Soon he would ask questions about his father. Jiraiya replied. I know, Tsunade said, feeling upset. When you feel the time is right, inform him about his parents. He has every right to know. Jiraiya advised and handed her a picture of Kushina and Minato. I will, she said and accepted the picture. As this was going on, no one was able to notice a very certain bird flying away from the branch of a large tree, from which one can observe the Senju house. Tailed beast summoning animal thoughts. Chapter 13. Chakra. Some unknown location. So, is he the one that we were told about? An unknown booming voice questioned the other presence, who was standing at attention facing the one who questioned. You know the answer to your question very well, just as I do, the other presence replied. Let's hope we're right, the first one said. With all due respect, the second presence said, and then bowed their head signifying their respect towards the first presence, and continued to say, we don't hope, we know. Senju residence, land of waves. Since Naruto is 5 years old now and has already expressed his desire to become a ninja, Tsunade decided to start his ninja training. At the moment Tsunade, Shizune, and Naruto are on the playground in front of their house. Eevee, who is as big as a regular dog now, is also in the playground lying in the shade of a tree. Naruto is wearing the t-shirt with the dabbing monkey, gifted to him by Hiruzen. He thought it looks good on him. Tsunade thought she should explain the details of chakra to her son first. Katra. Is it something related to cats? Was Naruto's question. Tsunade and Shizune would have laughed at how he just called chakra Katra if it wasn't for Naruto's adorable confused expression. It is not Katra Naru, it's chakra, Shizune said while ruffling Naruto's blonde hair. When she saw her brother curiously looking at her with those ocean blue eyes, she continued, chakra is essential for most of the ninja techniques, and it is created when the physical energy and spiritual energy of a person are molded together. Physical energy and spiritual energy? Naruto asked, scratching his head. Physical energy is collected from the person's body strength and can be increased through regular training and exercises. Whereas spiritual energy is derived from the person's consciousness of mind and can be increased through studying, meditation, and experience. And when the person learns to mold these two energies properly, then he can harness chakra to perform most of the ninja techniques. Tsunade explained to her son. So without chakra, one cannot be a ninja? Naruto asked, scratching his chin and looking sideways, seemingly in thought. Nope. It was Tsunade who answered. Chakra is essential for most of the ninja techniques, however, chakra is not that important to be a ninja, Tsunade said, but when she saw the questioning look on her son's face she continued again. In the Leaf Village there was a genin in the past with the name Might Dai, who was not able to mold chakra properly. But he was still able to fight all the previous 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist. He killed 4 of them before dying. His bravery and sacrifice have become so much legendary that they sent a ripple in the ninja world. People all over the elemental nations are still talking about how a single leaf genin was able to fight all 7 swordsmen of the mist alone. Now his legacy is being continued by his son, a Junin named Might Guy. He also has a birth condition that causes him to not be able to mold chakra properly. But he conquered that obstacle and became a taijutsu specialist. And he is now an A-rank ninja. It was rumored that Might Guy may be able to give your uncle Jiraiya a hard time. Wow, Naruto said in awe, imagining Might Dai and Might Guy as the heroes Son Goku and Gohan from his other favorite television series. But then he asked again, so, chakra is essential for most of the ninja techniques, but not completely necessary to be a ninja? Yes. His mother replied. Cool, Naruto shouted, raising a fist to the sky. He then looked at his mother and asked, how can I start to mold chakra? You have to first sit down in a meditative position and clear your mind, Shizune said and showed Naruto how to sit in a meditative position. Naruto followed her example and took a meditative position. Shizune then showed a ram hand sign to him and said, this is a ram hand sign, it will help you focus. Naruto did the ram hand sign. When Shizune saw that Naruto was ready she continued again, close your eyes and try to clear your mind. Try to reach your inner depths and try to feel for an essence inside. When you find it, try to pull it. Naruto did as his sister said and tried to look for the essence. His mother and sister were observing him. After 15 minutes of trying, he opened his eyes. I can't feel any essence inside me, he said, puffing his cheeks like a stubborn child. Tsunade and Shizune laughed at his reaction and Tsunade said, it takes some time to mold chakra for the first time. So we can't be sure how long this may take. When I was doing it for the first time it took me 7 days to unlock my chakra. For me, it was 10 days, Shizune said to her brother. 10 days. Naruto shouted in shock. Well anyway, keep trying until you feel an essence inside of you. Don't worry, you'll get it eventually. His mother encouraged him, so Naruto closed his eyes again. Tsunade, Shizune, and Eevee, who also joined them now, were watching Naruto carefully. 30 minutes later, it has been half an hour and Naruto is still in meditation trying to feel for his chakra. Shizune was surprised at how concentrated he must be, to be able to meditate for that long. When she was a child she got irritated every 5 minutes when she was unable to unlock her chakra. Tsunade, Shizune, and Eevee were under a tree shade looking at Naruto's progress. Eevee was resting with its head in Shizune's lap. For the 3 of them, Naruto almost looked like a statue cause he was not making any movements at all. Naruto was trying hard to find the essence within him. But he was unable to find it in the first 5 minutes when he sat in meditation for the second time. But after that 5 minutes when he could not feel an essence inside him, he got an idea and tried to feel the essence around him. He felt a very strong and peaceful essence all around him. He remembered his sister's words about trying to pull the essence to him when he found it. So for the last 25 minutes, he had been trying to pull the essence around him into himself. Tsunade, Shizune, and Eevee immediately understood something was wrong as soon as distortions started to form in the air around Naruto. After just a few more seconds, the space around Naruto's eyes slowly started to get a very small but still vibrant red color. Naruto, Tsunade said in surprise as she stood up. Naruto, who was disturbed by his mother calling his name, released his ram hand sign. As soon as he released his hand sign, the color around his eyes faded and he opened his eyes. Mom? He questioned, seeing the surprised look on his mother, a shocked look on his sister's face, and a baffled expression on Eevee's. Yup, even animals can show expressions in their way. Tsunade recovered from her surprise and said, "That's enough for today, Naru. It's time for lunch, let's try again some other day." "But Mom, I think I can feel the essence now," he started to protest. "No, Naru, you need to take rest before you try again," she told him. "Okay," he conceded. "Let's go, Eevee," he called for his partner. The fox, who was now out of her shock, realized that Naruto was calling her, and ran up to him. After both Naruto and Eevee were out of sight, Shizune asked her sensei, "Lady Tsunade, what was that?" Tsunade was silent for a few minutes as she was observing the patch of grass on which Naruto was meditating until now. There seems to be a glow in the grass that was not there before, and there also seems to be a small growth. After a few moments of thinking deeply, she finally replied to her student, "Let's wait for the answers till Jiraiya comes." This is the end of the fanfic, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will leave the link to the fanfiction in the description. Please go and support the author of the story. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and also comment down below. See you guys in the next video. Bye.